Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show here on the Kokomo Post.
That it is.
My name is Drew Larison. This is MTM. Mr. Mayor, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you, Mr. Larison?
I'm good.
Man, loving this weather. Holy cow.
Can't complain about that.
Outside yesterday, and I had some neighborhood kids come down with my nephew. He was down hanging out, and they just wanted to play basketball out back and
love that.
run around. Yeah, it's great. It's a tease, though. It's a tease. Punxsutawney.
Yeah, it's fake spring.
Fake spring, man. Don't let it get you.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, this happens every year. I am actually about to head out of town for a few days, which I'm excited about. But, I mean, it could be 20 degrees when I get home. Like, that's just how that works. And you never know. So
you never know.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning in today.
Yes.
I see people jumping on the live.
Questions.
Appreciate it.
Afternoon.
If you do have any questions, go ahead and start leaving those in the chat for the Ask the Mayor segment. But before we jump into anything, let's give a shout out to our friends over at Robert Miller and Son.
Long-time sponsors of the show.
Absolutely. The New Year's sale is here at Robert Miller and Son, and it's a great time to refresh your home. For a limited time, you can, we're running out of time on this sale. You can save up to 50% on their in-store clearance items. If you'd rather create something that fits your space perfectly, we're also offering a 30% off all custom orders. Choose your fabric, your style, and your comfort, and let them know how to build them or to build you a piece that you have been wanting. It's the new year and a new chance to make your home feel brand new again. Stop in and take a look around and see what kind of savings you can start the new year with. The New Year sale is happening right now all the way through February, so just a few more weeks left at Robert Miller and Son, Kokomo. Come in and find something you will love. Shout out to Robert Miller and Son.
Yes,
the Mayor
absolutely.
said, longtime partner of the show. Truly appreciate
it
and how they support us here. Love it. What's going on at City Hall this week?
Not a whole lot. I'm going to take advantage of this unseasonably warm weather and have the street department out. Maybe grab a few more of the leaves that got snow covered through December. Some limbs out as well if they... We'll try and get a notice put out. I know they were looking at the schedules this week to see what they'd be able to. And I know there's even some folks like us that still have our real Christmas trees. We didn't get them over to Green Cycle there along Dixon and such. There may be the possibility or opportunity to pick some of those up as well. So watch the city's Facebook page for notices in regards to limbs and get those out to the side of the street. 3 patch buggies out every day, hitting our good friends, the potholes. And so keep in mind that, or keep it handy, the pothole hotline number, 456-7474. Help be the eyes on the streets for us, additional eyes on the streets for us, because we don't always catch the ones that start rearing their ugly heads right away, especially with the thaw and freezing that occurs. So we appreciate folks doing that. It's an automated answering line that asks you to give a location of it, either an address that it may be out in front of, an intersection it might be in, a landmark it's close by, anything to help. And like I said, one of the 3 patch buggies will get to it in a day or two while they're out and about in that particular area. So just a lot of that right now as they continue to work through plans and developments for the spring and summer.
Love it. Very cool. Oh, sorry about that.
All right.
Love it. Very cool. Hey, before we jump into the questions today, we do want to thank a new partner over here at the show called Blue Fox HVAC, and we'll be right back with the questions right after this break.
Hi, I'm Brian with Blue Fox Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. We're a locally owned, family-run HVAC and plumbing company built by 3 families who believe quality work and great customer service matter most. Since 2018, we've taken care of homes and businesses in our community with routine maintenance, repairs, new system installs, and emergency service work 24/7, 365. What sets Blue Fox apart is our skilled technicians, clear communication, creative solutions, and preventative maintenance programs designed to catch problems early and save you money. With over 900 verified Google reviews, our quality speaks for itself. When you need heating, cooling, or plumbing you can trust, call 765-233-6846 or visit bluefoxhvac.com. Blue Fox Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Elevated comfort, expertly delivered.
Very
awesome.
cool.
Appreciate that.
Nice.
Shout out to them, new partner here on the show. So shout out to Blue Fox HVAC.
Might have started a new trend.
How about it? Yeah.
So the sponsors get on.
So if you are interested, you own a local business, we can create something like that for you as well if you're interested in it. So
very cool.
Let us know. Okay,
like
let's get into the questions that we have today. And I'm going to just a quick reminder, because I know there's a lot of new people watching this show all the time, how the questions work. So we have a long list of pre-show questions that we have gotten on the internet through social media throughout the day today. We always post something on Monday mornings, a call to questions, where we have quite a few of those, around 30 pre-show questions today that we'll get through. And then as you're asking those questions live in the chat, I am adding those to my notes, and I will respond back to your comment saying, thank you, I got your question. That's how you know I have your question. And we'll get to the live show questions after we get through the pre-show questions. So that's how that works. Appreciate you guys.
He is the king of multitasking. Yeah. It is amazing to watch him at work.
Yeah, it's just called ADD. You know, I'm just really good at doing multiple things. Okay, so let's get into it today. The first question we have is from Brad on Facebook. Can you explain the funds that Star Plus is replacing back into the city of Kokomo for the utility upgrades? Paul Wyman discussed it a little bit at the commission's meeting, but I wasn't quite understanding. Also, can you help explain why, if the funds are being replaced, why are utilities still increasing to the residents of Kokomo? Looks as if what was supposed to be a benefit to Kokomo will increase in jobs to have Star Plus here has fell through. So why trust the rezoning for an industrial area for more false hopes? Brad on Facebook.
Okay, so couple different questions there. The funds that are being paid by Star Plus Energy. So yes, abatements were given to Star Plus for their development, but they are, as part of the agreement, still making payments to the city of Kokomo to cover costs that were involved in bringing some of the infrastructure. As for utility rates, I just had a conversation with someone this morning, and then they noticed on one of their utility bills that the delivery fee, that the service or the utility itself or resource itself didn't necessarily go up, but it was the delivery fee that was being charged. And a lot of what the utility companies charge are regulated through the Indiana Regulatory Commission, and so those are determined by them. The city does not have electric. The city doesn't provide water. The city doesn't provide gas. Those are all private utility companies, even though it's city water, city gas, city electricity. Those are all individual companies, and so it's what they are then collecting respectively for that. But as for Star Plus, yes, the level of employment out there is not at the level that they had anticipated at this point. They are slowly ramping back up. It's our understanding that they are bringing a few hundred more employees in to retool or assist in the retooling of some of the lines out there to produce other battery storage products for the partnership, specifically for Samsung SDI's clients and customers. And so that will continue to ramp up with some additional employees coming this summer. So it didn't fall through. It's not a failure. We also understand that a recent news report that came out in regards to a potential split between Stellantis and Samsung SDI was misinterpreted. It doesn't affect the Kokomo facility and the partnership down here. It was other facilities that they're downsizing or kind of removing. So things are still looking up for that. Every indication that we've been given from Star Plus Energy is that there are plans to eventually still build the second battery plant as things continue to ramp back up and look for that. So I think I got it.
Okay.
Hopefully that answered it.
Next question is from Daryl on Facebook. Did you know that the Kokomo Reservoir, Kokomo's water source, has been empty for about 6 months now? With the shortage of water, how can we entertain any more water-intensive industrial projects, particularly on the east side of town where our water comes from? Daryl on Facebook.
Yeah, so although the reservoir does provide some of the water to the Kokomo and Howard County and really the central Indiana area, I mean, it's not the only water source. There are aquifers throughout this region that Indiana American Water has drilled down to access water. So there's been times in the past where droughts situations have come into play and have created concerns and such, but fortunately the reservoir is not the only water source that Indian American Water draws from in order to provide water to Kokomo and Howard County.
God, imagine if it was and then it froze and then we had no water in the winter. That wouldn't be good.
That's true.
Because I did see people like ice fishing on it. Sabrina on Facebook, just want to let you know how frustrating things still are with the chicken issue. I think you probably remember we had a meeting with you and another couple almost 2 years ago. The other couple's neighbors have went from 1 coop to 4 coops. That's a lot of chicken.
It is a lot of chicken.
Coops. And who knows how many chickens and roosters. Something needs to be put in place to protect those that go overboard when it comes to this type of issue in the future. Sabrina on Facebook.
Yeah. So, and I can't recall if they had called code enforcement, if code enforcement had come out, because it still could pose as a nuisance or qualify as a nuisance depending on noise and other things. But if it does fit within compliance in the current ordinances, there's not a whole lot that they can do at this point, as they couldn't necessarily do then either. However, the city and county for a few years now have been back and forth looking at and kind of massaging a county-wide animal ordinance that addresses situations like that. I know that because it's county-wide, that certain things are restricted within city limits or incorporated areas that aren't outside of or that are permitted outside of incorporated limits based on land and subdivision and such. So they being the legal counsels for both city and county are still working through a countywide animal ordinance that hopefully we'll be able to have together and released and considered yet this year to finally address situations not just with chickens but other animals and quality types and developments and such involving animal or animal control.
Got it. Next question is from Sam on Facebook, and hey. Dear me, this is something. It's time we take a stand against the tyrannical government. The only way that they're going to stop doing what they're doing is when we forcibly take a stand against them. Hence the reason we have a constitution. More example is the Second Amendment to stand up against a tyrannical government. That is the way this government is going. They do not listen to the people. They don't care what the people says. All they care about is lining their pockets. Paul Wyman and Tyler Moore are nothing but tyrannical pieces of blank, because I can't say the actual cuss word or I'll get cuss word declined for my comment. But screw both of you pieces of crap. You got what's coming.
Okay.
Sam on Facebook.
Really
no question there.
Sounded a little bit like a threat, so we'll look into that.
Okay, Sam.
So, sure.
Interesting. You might regret that comment there, buddy.
Okay.
Robin on Facebook. It just seems like the powers that be don't really listen to what the people of Kokomo want or don't want. I'm very disappointed in this administration at this point. People speak, but for some reason their opinions don't seem to matter. Can you explain? Robin on Facebook.
I mean, because people express their opinions and decisions are made or answers are given that don't fall in line with those opinions or those wants, doesn't mean that the people's voices aren't being heard. I mean, with the proposed annexation and rezoning that's currently being considered, kind of a continuation of the city's comprehensive plan in growth and expansion that was done back in 2017, kind of supports what people's opinions have been, that I've heard from years past, that there's a concern at times with the reliance on the automotive industry, and that we need to work on diversifying our economy and providing opportunities for other industry to come, which also then answers the question that I get posed a lot of times too. What are we doing to bring more jobs, more higher skilled jobs, more higher paying jobs to the Kokomo and Howard County area? And if we're not taking advantage of opportunity to have dedicated land available to companies that can consider bringing higher paid jobs, higher skilled jobs, a diversified economy, to this area, then we're wouldn't be listening to those voices as well. So, I mean, I get that there's a lot of emotion, and there's a lot, and those that show up that typically, have those opinions or are opposed to something, but, the same number of folks or more so that, support what's being done or support what's being developed and such, and aren't coming to the meetings or aren't coming, to those gatherings, to share their thoughts, again, more times than not because of the emotion involved, doesn't mean that their voices shouldn't be heard or considered as well. So it's a delicate act. I mean, we as elected officials just in the city of Kokomo represent right around 60,000 people, and not just what needs to be done now, but the future and opportunity to our community. And so it's a delicate balancing act a lot of times.
Next question actually was sent in, and they requested to be anonymous. And I'm curious, people watching in the chat, let me know what you think about that. Anonymous questions, is that something we should take? Curious what your thoughts are on that. But today we're going to read this one, and it's a long one. There appears to be an ongoing confusion in our community regarding animal care and control responsibilities within the city of Kokomo versus the county and surrounding towns such as Rushville and Greentown. As it currently stands, the understanding is the city of Kokomo is responsible for animal control after hours within city limits. During 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., the Kokomo Humane Society provides support for animals, but does not automatically pick up stray dogs unless it is an emergency. Humane Society has stated that they will assist with services such as scanning for microchips, vaccinations, and providing temporary supplies to help house a found dog for up to 48 hours while the owner is located. They have indicated concerns about intake capacity due to past disease outbreaks, including strep zoo, which is linked to overpopulation. They have also shared data suggesting most stray dogs are found within 2 miles of their home and reclaimed within 40 hours. Kokomo Police Department has access to the Humane Society facility for placing dogs that require a stray hold. The city did not renew a formal animal care and control contract, and instead, agencies are expected to work together. Additionally, residents are being told to contact dispatch for issues within Kokomo city limits, but to contact the town marshal for county areas. This does not appear to be widely or clearly communicated to the public. Can you clearly outline who is officially responsible? We can do these one at a time. Who is officially responsible for animal control within the Kokomo city limits?
The Humane Society is during the hours of operation, which I believe is 8 to 6 Monday through Friday and 12 to 4 on Saturdays. After those hours and on weekends, it is the Kokomo Police Department, unless there's an emergency situation, unless there's an aggressive dog or animal or severely injured dog or animal. We did sign a contract with the Humane Society that had an addendum for after-hours coverage just on an as-needed basis, I mean, for that, in which they would be additionally compensated. So it was similar to the agreement that we had last year, but or in previous years. It's just because of the desire, the wish, and request of the Humane Society for additional funding for their enforcement officers, we agreed to do the best we could within the city limits with the KPD to address non-aggressive or stray animals, unless, again, it's aggressive. But at that point, KPD would then contact the Humane Society on call to assist in those situations where there's aggressive or severely injured animals.
Okay. Second question was, who handles intake of stray animals during business hours versus after hours?
Humane Society, because they're open, so they would take intake. After hours, again, if it's an aggressive or severely injured, the Humane Society would get called out to assist. But if it's a dog or cat that's been surrendered due to a traffic stop or an arrest or something, if the animal, if family can't be contacted, or if the animal can be fed and watered and left in the residence till someone can, then KPD does the best they can to transport that animal to the Humane Society. They've given us access to be able to go in and place an animal inside their facility in a cage until the Humane Society comes into the next business day to address that.
What should residents do step by step when they find a stray animal, depending on where they live?
If it's a stray animal, if it's during the business hours, Humane Society. If it's
which is 9 to 5, correct?
9 to 5. I was thinking it was 8 to 6.
Okay,
but somewhere around that. I mean, but yeah, in any case,
okay.
Stray animals outside of that, they can, if it's an aggressive one, they can contact KPD to do. If it's in the evening hours or after hours, after the business hours, the Humane Society. If it's a stray animal that doesn't appear to be aggressive, or that there's not a whole lot folks can do. I mean, they can call KPD to come out and try and assist, but more times than not, a stray animal is going to be can continue to run or stray before an officer can be there. But definitely, if there's an aggressive animal, contact dispatch to contact the Humane Society. If it's an aggressive animal, KPD would get called out and verify that it is aggressive, and then would call for assistance from Humane Society as well.
And then last question, is there currently a formal agreement between the city and the Humane Society? And if not, what is the plan moving forward?
Yes, there's a formal agreement.
Got it. Okay. Tamara on Facebook, I have questions and concerns about CAM. Where can I go to get those questions or concerns addressed?
Jerome Williams is the director for CAM, or Coordinated Assisted Ministries. You could probably either call the CAM offices or stop into their facility. It's the old township office. They're on Main Street. I forget the address, but it's North Main and Jefferson, and stop in there and express concerns, or if it's something that has to do with the operations, you could probably draft a letter or an email and have that sent to their advisory board for consideration as well.
Okay. Mike on Facebook, what good is bringing jobs to Kokomo via the proposed industrial park if it runs residents and potential new residents to buy or build in Miami or Cass counties? The commute to northeast side of town from the more residentially dense southwest side of town is not fast or convenient, and there was little to no housing development happening on the north side of town. I would also like you to address how the city will handle the safety and security of the proposed annex in terms of first responders. The nearest fire station to the proposed annexation is on Apperson near Morgan Street, and they are equipped to handle potentially, and are they equipped to handle potentially large chemical or electrical fires? Mike on Facebook.
So I guess, residential sprawl, if you will. I mean, if folks decide to build in Cass or Miami County, I mean, that's their decision. It's still in close proximity to where if they work here in Kokomo and Howard County. The proposed annexed areas and those being rezoned to heavy industrial, I mean, it's kind of the same. If they don't want to live close to it, then they can move. Now, I know that there's the concern with more housing being on the south end of town versus on north. There are some proposed housing, both multifamily and single family, being considered in areas that they're kind of slow rolling just because of the economy. But there's a development going in planned for Sycamore and 931. There's still the hub area between Morgan and the Soul Brain and the Star Plus Energy area to the north of that still has plans for development. There's housing being considered along Morgan Street to the west. I mean, so there's small areas that are being developed, and even other areas that could have potential that once companies are established, there may be some interest in putting some housing there. But I guess, first responders, both police and fire, we're continuing to try and increase manpower right now. I mean, yes, Station 3 is at Morgan and Apperson. Station 6 that's being constructed there at 931 on Boulevard. Will be a larger facility and be able to house one of the larger engines. Right now they're just down the street, so they can still get to 931 or even to 31 if they needed to get to the north end in a matter of minutes. And so the protection's there, but as we continue to see growth, again, based on tax revenues and then the availability of additional recruits and funding, our desire is to look at the potential for a 7th station, because we've got 6 in Kokomo, to help address that need and where that would strategically be placed as part of that discussion as well. It's just probably a few years away as we continue to reload with the fire department, same way with the police department.
Okay. Thomas on Facebook. The people have made it very clear. We do not want a data center or any heavy industrial that will wreck our water supply and drain our power grid. We ask that you put a moratorium on heavy industrial zoning before a plan and from said industry makes a proposal. We don't care about shovel-ready and easy to slip by the residents. We don't want anything that doesn't bring long-term jobs and long-term tax revenue in lieu of the tax abatements and utility assistance. You were elected to represent the people of Kokomo, not just a small group of investors. Wyman Group, to be clear, Wyman Group is not the investor. They are the agency representing the investors and the people getting their pockets greased from him. We don't want any more development by Whitmore and Blackwell. Will you represent the people or continue to act like you know better? Thomas on Facebook.
Well, I mean, just because decisions that are made or things proposed don't agree with everybody doesn't mean that I think that I know better than anybody else. I know I don't know better than anybody else. I know I'm not always the smartest man in the room, but again, going back to the voice of the people. I mean, who we represent 60,000 people, and I know people are like, oh, well, if it's going to affect our resources, we don't want our children to be left with this. But at the same time, our children are the ones that are going to be looking for employment opportunities, and we'd love to have employment opportunities here. And the best way to do that is to provide those opportunities, with growth. I'm pretty confident that the same conversations or concerns were being had or shared, or in many folks' cases being remonstrated against when, Chrysler put the casting plant up, and then the transmission plant, and then the engine plant. There's, back in the day when Haynes, all these are major suppliers and employers, and have provided jobs and livelihoods to hundreds of families, for decades. And so this is just another opportunity at that to hopefully diversify. So what's getting proposed, again, is consistent with what leaders, both elected or non-elected, prior to me saw and envisioned and hoped for the Kokomo area. We're just now given the opportunity to carry some of that out.
Peggy on Facebook. Why should we have to be charged more on our utilities to cover the cost of a data center that they're planning to build? Oh, man. Because the delivery on our NIPSCO bills are due to that. Peggy on Facebook.
Well, right now there's not a data center currently in Kokomo and Howard County. Don't know if there's one being proposed. If they're talking to the landowners, that's different. And so if there's not one here, then the delivery fee that's being currently charged probably isn't attributed to that. The delivery charge typically is bringing gas from whatever supply or supplier that NIPSCO has contracts with, or other service providers, because it's my understanding that you can go with different gas companies, but they would still be charged a fee to use NIPSCO's lines or any of the utility lines if it's a different company. So again, no data center currently, no data center being developed or planned right now. So there's nothing that can be attributed to that with the increase in utility rates at this time.
Nikki, I believe is probably what this is.
Okay.
I have just been assessed a $50 per year fee for the maintenance and repair for the watershed/drain in which my home sits. I attend the meeting questioning why my tax dollars aren't covering the infrastructure. Schools, jail, courthouse, etc. was the answer given. Evidently, our taxes do not cover infrastructure. My question is, where do these extra assessments end? $50 per year isn't going to break the bank, but what's to stop the next $50 fee and then the next? Please stop giving tax breaks to these companies that are poisoning our land and are not paying their fair share.
Well, if there was a 50, I mean, it sounds like it might have been a drain assessment that was done outside of, in the county. I don't recall a $50 fee being assessed to any city of Kokomo residents. I know we had the $10 trash fee that got put on the utility bill included in there, and then the small uptick on average $5 to $6 for the long-range control plan project that's being completed. But if there was a meeting for a $50 increase, it sounded like it was a drain reconstruction, and that's due to the fact that prior to that, their drain assessment, I mean, again, this is from experience from being commissioner, drain assessments could have been $5 a year or $10 a year or something, and then when a drain needs reconstructed or addressed in a certain watershed, and it's millions of dollars in order to do so for that, they then have to recoup that money. So with that, once the fund that those assessments go into gets large enough to cover the cost of that, it'll revert back down to a more manageable drain fee if it's, again, outside of the city limits, which it sounds like it is.
Okay. Victoria, why did Wyman say we were now seeing benefit/lowering of whatever on our utility bills after an increase from the industrial park utilities being lined through, like the gas line from Walton, when we are all still seeing increases on those bills? Why are we responsible for what you want here if it's not paying our bills or lowering them in the future?
I wasn't at that meeting, but again, the utility companies are private. They're not city. They're not county. And so whatever rates, and again, in the conversation that I had earlier, and I think a conversation that, or that comment that somebody had made, I mean, it's part of their delivery fee. So whatever they're negotiating with the gas suppliers for those lines is where those are, and then those rates have to be approved by the state through the IRC before they can get transferred or passed on to the customers. So I can't completely speak to the decisions made by the utility companies for how they're adjusting their rates.
Gotcha. 1 second.
Multitasking.
Yeah.
It's making it happen.
Let's see. We're up here. Oh, shoot. I think I accidentally deleted a question. Give me a second.
Ready for an ad read?
Not yet.
Not yet?
All right,
Okay.
Julie on Facebook. I would like to know if the mayor in Wyman can condone a data center which uses millions of gallons of water in Howard County when we are in a red zone drought state of emergency. Look it up. We have been deemed in a severe drought emergency. How in the absolute can anyone in their right mind think for a second a data center depleting even a hint of water from our community is okay? Mr. Mayor, Mr. Wyman, you both should be ashamed of yourselves for our blatant disregard for our community and its future. You have no problem jeopardizing our health and our water supply, raising our utility bills even higher when they already are, and all the while lying straight to our faces while you line your own pockets. You are both a disgrace. I didn't leave LA for this. Drugs and gang activity brought in from Chicago by Goodnight. Now a data center to poison and bring slow death to our children and wildlife by you. Kokomo is going down fast at the hands of those entrusted to make it a better place. How do you look at yourself in the mirror? Julie on Facebook.
I look at myself in the mirror every morning and every night and pray that, what I'm doing is the best for our community, for all 60,000 folks, and for the future. Again, there's no data center that's presented a development plan. There's nothing that's that I'm aware of that's specifically in the works. If a data center needs certain utilities or a certain level, and it's not feasible for them to, if the utilities aren't there, they're not going to develop. No corporation is going to invest if there's not adequate resources here. So that's something that will continue to be looked at and considered no matter what development comes there. And again, the whole lining the pockets thing, it's just become rather amusing to me. So
okay. Next question. Let me get up there. That Sam guy threatening violence on the local city government again,
okay.
so I'm going to skip that one.
Okay.
Pine Forest Maddie on Facebook.
Okay.
If you go through with the industrial park data center, how are you going to violate the people of Kokomo like this and not expect an uproar? Pine Forest on Facebook?
Well, we're going to be diligent with whatever is proposed there. I know everybody is hung up on the possibility of that being a data center, and that's where the emotion and excitement are coming from. But we will continue to do the best we can to act in the best interest of Kokomo and Howard County with whatever is deemed appropriate there. Now, really anything that's ag-related could already develop there, and if something fits within the zoning classification, whether it's ag or industrial or really commercial, anything along the overlay district of 31, if it's a permitted use, then they just need site plan approval from the planning commission. Doesn't necessarily mean that if something comes that they need incentives or abatements or something. Using Chick-fil-A as an example, Chick-fil-A didn't ask anything of the city for assistance outside of just assistance in designing how the traffic flow was going to be through there. So there are companies. There's even a lot of the hotels that are being developed that have asked nothing of the city. So there are companies that do develop and can come into areas that they want to be without assistance from the city. And if it's a permitted use, then that's where they'll land.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Yes. Let's take a quick break to talk about our friends over at Affordable Pest Management, Indiana's trusted choice for residential and commercial pest control, wildlife removal, installation services, crawl space cleanouts, and full home protection. They deliver fast, reliable service with honest pricing and same-day emergency response when you need it most. They handle everything from general pests like ants, spiders, roaches, and bed bugs to wildlife issues involving raccoons, squirrels, bats, and groundhogs. Crazy. Their team also provides crawl space cleanouts, vapor barrier installation upgrades, gutter cleaning, power washing, holiday installation, and holiday light installation. I wish you could just install holidays. That'd be great. Protecting your home and business inside and out. Homeowners, landlords, and business owners and property managers rely on Affordable Pest Management for clear communication, professional inspections, and long-term solutions that save money. New customers can get 10% off their first service when they mention they heard this ad on the show. Call them today at 765-450-8584 or visit Indiana APM to schedule a service or request a free quote. Thank you to Affordable Pest Management for being a part of the show here today. Next question is from NJ on Facebook. Years ago, my daughter's car was towed out from our front of our home for an expired tag, less than 30 days, and parked against the flow of traffic, but still in a parking spot. I say this to ask this. Why was it towed when I see this and even worse every day around town? There is parking laws and rules in place, but none are enforced. It creates an eyesore for neighborhoods and around town, and in honesty, if enforced, would generate some revenue for the city. It cost me over $300 to get her car back. There's broken down vehicles, expired tag vehicles, and everything else parked illegally in town. Why is it not enforced? If an officer is in patrol and sees it, write the ticket and continue on patrol. Instead of our officers pick and choose what to enforce and what not to. NJ on Facebook.
That was probably involved code enforcement as opposed to KPD. If folks see, and we do get this almost every day, an email from individuals in the community that see cars that have been parked in a particular area for longer than they care to see them parked there, or they may have a flat tire. I mean, so they're encouraged to call code enforcement and report that. Send one of our officers out, code enforcement officers, not KPD, to inspect, a lot of times tag the vehicle and such. I mean, so there are efforts that are made and are done. It doesn't always seem like it. Don't know why they had singled out their daughter's car within that time frame, and what that was done. I'd have to look into it to see, but there is enforcement that's done on a regular basis, but kind of the same way too. It gets tagged or ticketed, and a lot of times folks pay the ticket. They rectify the situation or work with code enforcement, because there's, after the notice is given, there's a certain amount of time that they have to rectify that. More times than not, it's taken care of. Other times they move the vehicle, or it does end up getting towed. But we'll definitely continue to encourage our officers, both code enforcement officers and KPD officers, to watch out for those situations and address them as they can. But folks are welcome to report those too. The 411 app is a really good one for KPD, or Text My Gov.
Got it. Okay. 1 second. I don't want to lose this. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
You guys are blowing up this chat right now. Here we go.
Yeah, I might need to shorten up my answers
No,
so we can get through them all.
I want to make sure I
So we
don't
don't
get
go
distracted
too long.
and lose some. Next question is from Alice on Facebook. When is the unannexation of Holiday Hills and Blue Spruce going to take place?
It's probably not going to take place. I don't know that there's a process to have them unannexed. They might want to consult with an attorney to see what, if anything, would need to be done or could be done legally to have that process move forward if they folks in those areas so desire.
Okay. Is that possible?
I'm assuming it could be. I've not heard that it has been done but I mean, I suppose it could be. I just don't know the legal methods or the legal not ramifications, but the legal procedures that would need to follow for that.
Okay. Next question is from Carly. Why is the new parking ordinance suddenly being enforced for a new chain restaurant, but half the streets in the city are just as narrow? Why are city officials allowed to pick and choose what to enforce and when?
There were actually 3 proposed for that last from the traffic commission meeting that then made its way to the council. It just happened that one of those was that stretch of Imperial, just south of Hobby Lobby and the new Chick-fil-A restaurant. Again, there were 3 that were being considered, and really the ordinance that's in place now, because there wasn't signage on all 3 of those, actually 2 of the 3, it was already not wide enough for permitted on-street parking, and so it was just kind of house cleaning. I believe they're going to continue to do assessments of other streets just to make sure that the signage is placed in those areas that do not meet the ordinance for the size of the city streets to allow for on-street parking on one or both sides. So I know it looks like that, but actually I think there were a few residents along that stretch that had reached out and had made the request, knowing that there was going to be increased traffic there to minimize the possibility. And so that's why it then came before the Traffic Commission.
Okay. Next question is from Amber. Many people in the Kokomo area travel to Kokomo or Carmel, Noblesville, and Indy to seek medical professionals. Kokomo seems to have a shortage of doctors and specialists. Is there anything being done to attract those types of professionals to this area?
I think both hospitals are trying. What we're doing too is working on housing. I mean, a lot of it has to do with where they reside. And as we continue to work on amenities, whether it's our trails, our parks, things available in our parks, other opportunity for retail, commercial, industry, I mean, things that would encourage medical professionals to not only work here or spend the time in the hospitals, but to live here as well. So working on that. But as for specific efforts within the hospitals to try and lure those medical professionals here would be part of their plans or their processes and missions.
Gotcha. Okay.
So.
Let's take another quick break to talk
Okay.
about our friends over at Kokomo Antique Mall. If you love the thrill of finding something truly one of a kind, you've got to check out the Kokomo Antique Mall. This isn't just a shop, it's a treasure hunt. With over 75 different vendors and 3 full floors to explore, it's one of those places where you can wander for an hour and still feel like you've barely scratched the surface. You'll find everything from antiques and vintage decor to furnitures, collectibles, home decor, and unique statement pieces that you won't see anywhere else.
Yep.
And because it's a multi-vendor mall, the inventory is always changing, meaning every time you visit, there's something new waiting around the corner. Whether you're a collector, a casual browser, or someone looking for that perfect piece for your home, you're bound to leave with something that has a story. They're open Tuesday through Sunday, 11 to 6, and it's the perfect spot to spend an afternoon browsing, treasure hunting, or supporting local vendors all in one place, right here in beautiful downtown Kokomo. So next time you're downtown, stop by the Kokomo Antique Mall, where every visit feels like a new find.
Awesome.
Thank you to them for being a partner of the show. Ashley on Facebook,
Hey.
where do you expect people to park when there is no street parking on certain roads and they have 4 drivers in their home and not enough room in a shared driveway? Ashley on Facebook.
That does pose a challenge. I guess looking for areas, if there's room within their property to create an additional pad or a driveway type of area. If there's areas in close proximity that would provide parking. Otherwise, if you're talking about some of the streets that are already too narrow, there's the possibility of seeing if there's an existing easement that the street could be widened. If not, what the efforts or costs would be involved to acquire an easement and widen the road in either direction. I mean, so that would be one, or making it maybe a one-way street. I mean, if it's not wide enough for on-street parking, and making it one-way to still allow for on-street parking on one side, as opposed to having two-way and not enough for that parking. So that's a possibility as well.
Okay. Christina on Facebook. Good afternoon. I have 3 questions.
Okay.
Have there been any considerations about implementing no left turns on East Markland, especially around White Castle, the gas station on the corner of 931, and the area where Wendy's and Walmart area are? With Chick-fil-A opening this week, how is the city planning on easing up on the already congested traffic in that area? Also, what is being built on the corner of Hoffer and Elizabeth?
So working with NDOT, because NDOT has control over the good portion of that intersection of 931 and Markland. So yeah, trying to find the best way to control traffic on the east stretch of that, particularly as folks coming in and out on the north end of the area behind White Castle and north of Hobby Lobby and Chick-fil-A there, as well as the congestion from everything along that stretch of Markland east of 931. So again, engineering department working with NDOT on the possibilities of that. And then at Hoffer and Elizabeth is a housing complex called the Elwood. It's about, I think, 114 units, I think, of multifamily living, so apartments, market rate apartments, with I think 3 retail spaces on the ground level there on the south side of the facility. So housing complex to cater to not only folks that work here in Kokomo, but in the surrounding area that don't mind commute and want a lower cost of living.
Angela on Facebook, are they going to add lane markers at the newly improved intersection of Alto and Webster? It's not marked very clear at all for either lane or the turn lanes. Angela on Facebook.
Yes, so they were waiting for the weather to break a little bit to make sure that the paint would take. So we can find out if, hopefully, with this stretch of warmer weather, they're able to do that. E&B had that was one of the projects that we had contracted to them, and so the restoration contractor, if you will, that finishes the project, so to speak, would be part of that. And so we'll see where they stand. And again, hopefully they can take advantage of these warmer temperatures to get some paint down before it freezes again.
Charlie on Facebook, who decided to make the intersection of Washington and North Street a four-way stop? That was a terrible decision. And I have heard there's talk of turning that intersection into another roundabout. Is there a timeline for construction? We use that intersection to get to work. Charlie on Facebook.
No plans for a roundabout right there. There's not enough space with everything that's right on top of that corner. We'd have to buy out some things. And unfortunately, it was the driver of a Dollar General semi-truck that made the decision to turn that into a four-way stop, because as they were turning east off of Washington, they took the traffic light out and busted the base, and so they need to replace the base of that lamppost itself. And so right now it's a four-way stop just until they can get that traffic signal repaired, replaced, and back up to the traffic signals like they were before. So it was due to an accident.
Got it. Let's give a quick shout out to our friends over at Wolf Smokehouse.
Okay.
If you're craving real barbecue, the kind that takes time, care, and serious smoke, then you have to check out Wolf Smokehouse. Wolf Smokehouse is a locally owned smokehouse and barbecue shack at 502 North Main Street in Kokomo, and they're doing things the old school way. They use never frozen meat, and they don't rush the process. Their smokers are rolling from open to close because their tagline, "We smoke all day," isn't just a tagline.
No.
It's a promise.
Yep.
On the menu, you'll find everything barbecue lovers dream about: tender brisket, juicy chicken, savory sausage, fall off the bone ribs, and smoked bologna, all packed with flavor and smoked low and slow. Wolf's has delicious signature sides, and they even offer catering, so you can bring that smoke to your next party or work lunch. Here's the only warning: because everything is made fresh daily, Wolf's is known for one very real thing: they sell out every single day. When it's gone, it's gone. They're open Tuesday through Saturday. Saturday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. So do yourself a favor and get there early. Wolf Smokehouse, they smoke all day.
That's right. And don't let the size of their shop fool you. It may be
They pump
small
some
in
stuff out.
size, but it's big on taste.
Absolutely. Hi, Mr. Mayor. Hi,
Hey.
Drew. Or should I say Mr. Larison?
Oh.
He said that probably makes you feel old, but we all know you're like 30. Okay. Anyway, is it true Mike's is open today?
I don't believe so.
Okay. And did NDOT fix anything around Chick-fil-A? And how are you guys today? Happy President's Day. I haven't been on for a while, but we've been sharing the show and we'll continue. Thanks for all you do. Aaron on Facebook.
So talking
was
about
Mike's
that area,
feature.
931 in Markland, still working through possibilities with NDOT at that intersection. But no, there was rumor that Mike's was going to be opening this past weekend or sometime this week, but still slow rolling, not sure. But I know it's highly anticipated.
Oh, yeah. People have been missing that. Okay. Let me get to back here. Austin on Facebook.
Hey.
Are you running for re-election? And if so, do you think the vague and dishonest answers you have given regarding the rezoning and otherwise will have negative impacts on said re-election? Austin on Facebook.
Planning on running for re-election. So if God and the citizens give me that opportunity, I'd be honored again. But he said vague and dishonest answers, or just vague? Vague answers. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, the annexation. There aren't vague answers on that. It's 100%. It's a super annexation. I mean, so every single one of the landowners that are in that area have asked to be annexed into the city. Have also asked to be considered for rezoning, and so there's nothing really vague about that. This next meeting on the 23rd for the council, they will just be considering and approving the fiscal plan for the annexation. So it's not even the first reading for the annexation itself. It's not even the first reading for the rezoning. It's just to receive and adopt the fiscal plan for the annexation itself. So the whole process is still a month and a half out. I guess because they think that it's a vague answer or that it's dishonest or something. It's because we don't know what's being planned for there or what's being proposed. Again, nothing has been brought to the city. There's nothing vague about that. There's nothing been presented to the city to develop that site, from a data center, from any other type of storage facility. I mean, there's a whole laundry list of permitted uses with heavy industrial. So not being dishonest about anything. Nothing's being proposed. Nothing's being brought to the city or to the Planning Commission right now to develop that land outside of just being annexed and being rezoned for that possibility. If they want answers, the landowners, if they've been talking to companies, they'd have to get the answers from them.
Okay. Before we get to those live chat questions, we do have one more ad read for today from our friends over at Berrycom. If you're tired of buffering, spotty connections, or internet that can't keep up with your house or your business, it's time to switch to Berrycom.
That it is.
Berrycom is a local fiber internet provider. Still one of my favorite lines I say all week. Berrycom is a local fiber internet provider serving the Kokomo area, bringing fast, reliable internet to the people who actually live and work here. Fiber means a stronger, more consistent connection for everything you do. Streaming, gaming, working from home, video calls, running a business. All of it. And here's the best part. You're not calling some faraway help desk. With Berrycom, you're working with a local team that understands the community and shows up for it. Upgrade your connection and keep your day moving with Berrycom, fiber internet built for Kokomo.
Absolutely.
All right. We are through the pre-show questions.
Okay.
Let's dive into these live chat questions. Jake on live chat. Are they going to put anything at the empty ball diamond this summer?
As in Kokomo Municipal Stadium?
Hard to say.
Absolutely. Summer collegiate baseball is back. Kokomo Creek Chubs opening day, May 24th. It's a Tuesday night. The only Tuesday night that there will be fireworks. Every other home Friday game will have the fireworks. But yeah, Kokomo Creek Chubs. Get excited.
Jeff on live chat. Are you still hiring for the fire department?
Yes, they are still hiring for the fire department. They're in the process now of just starting with a recruitment class. I believe that the next hiring will be done in the summer, because then that would start the process. But if you're interested, it doesn't hurt to reach out to the department themselves or HR. Station 1 located there at Superior Street. You can pop in and express your interest, or third floor of City Hall can fill out an application for that, and they can get it over to them. And then they'd contact you later when they're ready for the next application process. So right now we're in the middle of a recruitment class, so won't be any hiring probably till next year, but you can start the process now, because now the fire department has a merit system, which the list of potential hires gets created at the beginning of the year, and then the merit board follows that. And so once that's exhausted, then they'd be able to create another list. But after that list is created for the year, the next list would not be considered or presented to the merit board until the following year. So
Taylor on live chat. What is being done about our water waste treatment plant being in non-compliance for several quarters now?
The wastewater treatment plant, or that the permits that were released or filed by the wastewater treatment plant for Haynes, for Star Plus, for some of the suppliers and such. I mean, there's constant monitoring, constant communication. A lot of those, even though it shows that are non-compliance per quarter, doesn't mean that it was consistently non-compliant. They addressed those as they got to them. It was just for prior years that they then had to report that. I've been informed that every violation had been addressed and had been corrected when it was reported. So I think wastewater director and her team does a great job keeping in contact with these companies, whether it's any of the Stellantis plants, whether it's Haynes, whether it's the hospitals. I mean, anybody that may have to have reports. And so just being in constant communication with her and her team, not only from my office, but from these corporations to make sure they're doing what they're required to do, not just by our standards, but from EPA and IDEM standards to stay or to get back compliant. So,
okay. Next question is from Tom on live chat.
Yep.
When are Boulevard and Markland from 931 to the bypass going to get paved?
Boulevard from what?
It was
from
Boulevard and Markland from 931 to the bypass.
Okay. Not this year. I know with those stretches of not just the stretch of land, but the width as well, the lane miles being a larger project, that's something that we would include in an application for CDBG funds, which are federal funds run through the state, made available to municipalities for larger road projects. So those two stretches, I can see Markland from 931 out at least to Goyer, maybe not to the bypass, being done before the boulevard stretch from 931 out to either Goyer or the bypass, just because of the amount of traffic at both. So not this year, maybe not next, depending on how the CDBG funds are made available to municipalities, but it's definitely towards the top of our list for need.
Okay. Christina on live chat.
Sure.
I'd like to know if you were proud of the way the three of your planning commission board spoke to the people at the last meeting on the rezoning. One of them called a man a liar. One of them yelled at people for speaking out. And last but not least, the city engineer said he didn't want to hear from us again. Very disrespectful. What, if anything, are you going to do about the disrespect to the community you represent? Christina on live chat.
I'll have conversations with them. I think none of those were appointments made by me, I believe. One was the director, and the engineer, or the director of engineering is on by virtue of his position. The director, of course, being his position as well. And the president, I don't believe he's one of mine, or if he is, I mean, in any case, conversations with all three. I know I've had conversations with two, so I mean, yes, that's where I guess that gets addressed.
Allie on live chat. Has the lack of decorum and inappropriate interaction between the appointed planning commissioners and the public last week been addressed? Sure. If you're unaware what happened, please go back and watch.
Yep.
Okay.
At least with two of the three.
Gotcha. Also, she had another question. It was mentioned at the Planning Commission meeting that the potential projects in the proposed and annexed area could pay for the Howard County Jail. From my understanding, the county is responsible for the jail. So has there been some in good faith conversations that promises the county a kickback from whatever comes to fund the jail? If so, why hasn't this been disclosed?
Because we don't know what's being developed out there now. If there is the possibility of that, because I know that when ground is brought into the city limits, there's the county still receives tax, but not as much of an increment if a TIF district is established. But yes, I mean, there's been conversations with the concerns that folks have had with the annexation and with the financial shortfalls that the municipalities have. If we establish a TIF district in that area or specific for development, we do have the opportunity by state statute to share some of that increment with other municipalities or even with the school corporations. And so, I mean, yes, we shared a willingness with county officials of that possibility. Don't know what that is because there's nothing being proposed or developed out there now, so we wouldn't know what that dollar amount would look like. But yes, there has been a conversation, a willingness to look at what would be received kind of the same way that when they came to us to increase the lit in order to help them receive more funds for the jail instead of maxing that out. We backed that out and only raised it for the amount that they wanted, and the city didn't take any with that. I mean, so there's just that cooperation and willingness to work together to best serve the citizens and to minimize the impact that certain projects and things have on folks.
Got it. Aaron on live chat. When is the mayor going to force Haynes to finish Deffenbaugh? This has went on entirely way too long, and it continues to be brought up by citizens.
Yes. I mean, they are repairing a bridge. It's not much you can do to force when weather comes into play or the ground and conditions underneath both ends of the bridge, have had created unforeseen challenges and such. And so, I mean, it's a bridge project that didn't go as planned. That took a little longer. It's our understanding that they should have it done hopefully by March or April at the latest.
Okay. Tanya on live chat. With warm weather coming, what will the city be doing to deal with the issues of adolescents and younger children being violent?
Continue to try to provide amenities in our parks. I know the recent addition to the miniature golf over at Cutler, as well as additional pickleball and tennis courts there at Cutler, will provide other options. Continue to work at ways to increase our trail system to get kids out and about on it. We've got summer collegiate baseball. We've got, and we'll try to find, and we'll have Kokomo Beach. I mean, so we do the best we can to try and find things for them to do. If folks have ideas, we're always open to ideas, but don't always know what best fits into the interest of kids. And unfortunately, a lot of times kids are just going to be kids when they're bored with things or left to their own. So we'll, again, always welcome ideas and suggestions, try to come up with things for kids to get involved in, hopefully that they get encouraged to get involved with.
Okay. Caitlin on live chat. Let's talk about the taxpayer money utilized for flock camera systems without input from those taxpayers. Flock cameras create databases and track citizens in ways that can and do violate our Fourth Amendment rights. Or how about with the current cost changes of living in the city and using our public utilities? We're seeing increases in the hundreds of dollars across electric and wastewater alone, and our city is doing nothing to protect us, even from the unfavorable increases, since our state has ruled to allow consumers to eat industrial costs. Caitlin on live chat. So the cameras is the first point.
Yeah, cameras. I mean, a lot of those cameras, I mean, are for security and law enforcement measures. It's helped locate certain vehicles and such. I mean, if she feels that it's a violation of certain rights, by all means, would encourage to get with legal counsel and see if there is a case for that. But a lot of what's being done, and some of those aren't even public ones that are positioned along streets, but maybe on private properties. I know we had one concern with one that was placed at Lowe's, thinking that it was the city's, but it was actually by that property owner. But as for the what was the additional? I mean,
she was talking about the cost of living changes in the city using our public utilities, basically claiming. Yeah. The citizens are paying for things industrial costs are creating.
Right. And so, again, a lot of those, the companies themselves, like Star Plus, for example, has paid to help bring some of those utilities in and such. So what the utility companies are charging, may be listed as a delivery fee, but it's not the delivery fee that was brought, the increased capacity for that area. The delivery fee is where they're receiving their gas or getting their gas for their customers. And again, those rates are regulated by the state, by the IRC, and so, that would be the question for the utility companies.
Okay. Dustin on live chat. As I appreciate all the new fire trucks we've gotten in the last few years and a new Station 6, is there a plan to have ambulances back in KFD? I know you're probably tired of this question, but with my schedule, I don't get to listen that much. Well, hopefully you're still here.
Yep. Not at this time. I know as we continue to add bodies to the fire department, I mean, it's to replace those that are retiring or have transferred to other departments. And so at one point, and it might not have heard us talk about it before, the last time Kokomo, the fire department, had an ambulance or two in service, we had 122 firefighters. I mean, right now we're sitting at, I think, 89, maybe 91, 92. I mean, so I think we're right around 92. So, if we had 30 more, we'd probably look at a seventh station before getting the ambulance. Both hospitals have adequate ambulance service. I know that people don't always believe that because they may see that there's a medic not available. That doesn't mean that medical attention isn't being given. All of our firefighters are EMTs, and so they're able and qualified to provide medical assistance. Often go on medical runs to provide that. It's just if it's listed as a medic not available, that means there's not an ALS bus that can transport someone to the hospital. It doesn't mean they're not receiving that attention, or that there's not ambulances available by either hospital that can assist, or some of the volunteer fire departments. So right now, long answer short, no plans, immediate plans, as I understand, to get the ambulance back in service with the Kokomo Fire Department. As we continue to add bodies, we're looking at getting them on trucks to continue to service the growing city.
Okay. Scott on live chat. What's tougher, answering all these questions or the cheerleading you did at Notre Dame?
Oh, probably. Oh, it depends.
Wow, I thought this was going to be an easy one.
Answering the questions definitely tougher because cheerleading, even though doing stunts and trying to get the crowd involved, you got a lot of positive response and positive feedback from what you were doing or the actions you were taking. So I guess answering the questions is a little tougher because not everybody has the same excitement or enthusiasm to my actions.
Okay. So. Nicole, what can be done to help with the traffic congestion on Center Road near Cone Palace? Tale as old as time on that.
Right, yeah. So, and we've talked about this before too. The owners of Cone Palace have talked to adjacent property owners that are trying to get additional ground to broaden their footprint or their area there along Center Road, to move the entrance a little further west and get more traffic off of Center Road. Unfortunately, we can't widen the road or put additional turn lanes or such in, just because there's no easements available on either side of Center to allow for a widening of that stretch of road there in front of Cone Palace. So hopefully those folks will continue to work towards a solution to get traffic off sooner and more of it off sooner as well.
Wendy on live chat, what about water concerns? What about the poor quality testing for American water?
The poor quality testing for American?
That's what she says.
Indian American Water, I think, does a great job on testing, as does our wastewater treatment plant, which again is why there's some enforcement actions that get in place. But the water supply, again, that falls on Indian American Water. Every indications that we've been given is that our water capacity here, not just for commercial but for residential, is still adequate and is able to be, able to satisfy the needs of our community as it continues as it is, but also continues to grow.
Okay. Tiffany on live chat has a few questions. Do we have a person in the city whose job is focused on community grant writing and getting free money from the companies that are in our city/state? If not, can you get one? Also, in regards to your answer about the new annex theoretical TIF district, if the property is annexed, why should city residents expect to subsidize the county jail? Schools, yes, but the jail should be paid for all in the county. Tiffany on live chat.
Yep. So what was
the first one? Was talking about a person on staff.
Oh, a person on staff. Yes. So our development department focuses on that, and we have 4 development specialists along with the director for the development, and at least 3 of those focus on grant writing or looking for opportunities for not only small businesses but also for residents. But there's the opportunities within our development departments. We have those specialists that work on those. Our operations coordinator, Dave Trine, has also secured a few as well through the Arts Commission. We've got a couple projects in recent years for some artwork in partnership with the students at the Career Center, so really excited about those. And so, yes, we do have someone on staff. The other one was... question.
Was talking about the new
sorry.
annexed theoretical TIF district.
Yeah. So, I mean, no, I mean, it wouldn't be funds to subsidize. I mean, so county taxes that would be collected there, yes, would go into the general and probably go towards the county jail project. I mean, so just because something's brought into the city doesn't mean the county's not getting any tax revenue at all, but anything additional that we might be able to give, to the county would be for whatever they choose. And if they choose to apply it toward the various departments to free money up to put towards the jail, then so be it. But as many folks say, I mean, even though it's a county jail, a good portion of those that are arrested and confined there are city residents and such. I mean, so it's kind of the same way. I mean, it's money that can be put towards the operations for the county jail, to assist so that we don't have to do as much, or because it's a partnership with the county as KPD arrests and takes folks to the jail. So yeah, any increment that we might be able to get to the county can be put towards any use, and if they put it towards other departments, they get free money up for the jail, but it wouldn't be that would subsidize anything specifically for the jail.
Okay. Rob on live chat, I'm against the data center coming in, but I'm thinking outside the box here. If we have no choice but to get a data center in Kokomo, can we at least leverage free electricity/water if you're a citizen of Kokomo paid for by the data center? Maybe it can be a perk to live in Kokomo. Thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, if they come to the city and ask for some type of development agreement and need assistance from the city, we can certainly throw something out. I don't know that we could be free water or free electricity, but if the data center, as I understand it, it's I don't know if it's an actual state law, but I know Governor Braun had talked about having something that mandates that if data centers come to Indiana, they're on the hook for paying for any additional upgrades for utilities, as opposed to that being spread across the ratepayers. So obviously that would come into play if that is in fact true. But yeah, all part of what we would discuss with them or with any corporation that decides to come, not just a data center.
Okay. Hannah on live chat. This was a duplicate. So Hannah on live chat. Apparently the industrial park has been in the works for 30 years. What other projects are there in place that residents are in the dark about that we'll be seeing here soon? Also, will you run for re-election? If so, do you support term limits? Hannah on live chat.
So I know they keep saying this is something that's been in process for 30. It's been discussed for 30 years. It's been actually discussed probably longer than 30 years, because I've mentioned it before. Previous administrations, not just that particular area, growth into that area. It's the need for a dedicated industrial park somewhere within the city to try and entice additional industry to come outside of the automotive industry to provide other opportunities. I mean, so yes, it's been a discussion. It's not been in the works. We've not been planning on this particular area for 30 years. I mean, this is one of the areas that was identified. I mean, there's a handful of areas that were identified back then, but then also within the 2017 City of Kokomo Comprehensive Plan. And so it's not that people were necessarily left in the dark. That comprehensive plan was made public. It's been on the city's website since then and such. There's just not been that attention brought to it until it actually started working its way into areas that were identified, back then. So yes, I mean, I plan on running for re-election, and I'm perfectly fine with term limits. I mean, sometimes, folks get into elected offices for a lot longer than what they would typically need to be, especially, at the federal level. So yes, I'd be fine with term limits if it was something that was passed at the state or federal level that trickled down.
Crystal in live chat. We live in Country Lane subdivision, and due to all the timber, ash trees, laying down in the creek, blocking the creek every time we get an inch of rain, our backyard floods covering our leach field. How do we go about getting this cleaned up?
If it's in the waterways, we probably have to contact the DNR, and then they would possibly work with the Army Corps of Engineers, because if there's anything that gets disturbed, I mean, even if it's trees that have fallen or that may be blocking certain waterways, I mean, any type of removal would need to be approved, not just by the DNR, but the Army Corps of Engineers, because even though they may be obstructions and such, I mean, they've now created natural waterways, and folks are not legally allowed to alter or change natural waterways without their input or approval. So that'd probably be the first place to start, would be with the DNR.
Okay. Cody on live chat. If the majority of the city doesn't approve the data center, does Mr. Mayor think, or does Mayor Moore think it should still be built? How does Mayor Moore feel about the high school age protest during high school hours that happened last week? So 2 questions there from Cody.
Well, unfortunately, if the majority of folks don't want a data center, I mean, there's no way to truly tell what the majority of folks would want or say. I mean, unless there was some type. I mean, if somebody's able to, to throw something as a referendum vote or something on a ballot, or a handful of petitions being signed that would indicate that there's the majority of folks, and if they get too, I guess, specific, I mean, a majority would have to be, a little over 30,000 people. If you went specifically for a majority, but I understand that the majority of what's being heard online and at meetings and such is against it. But I mean, there's still probably just as many that are fine with that encourage that hope that not necessarily a data center, but the industrial park to provide additional opportunity. And that could be it too. The folks that want to see it annexed in industrial park, but may be against a data center. I mean, so if what the data center, if it's proposed, ends up being too detrimental, if it ends up being too much of a draw on the utilities, if the utilities can't handle it, I mean, it's probably not going to end up here. There's not an easy way to find out what the majority of folks. Yes, what's out there on social media is all against it, but that doesn't mean that everybody is that opposed to it, especially if there are the proposed or anticipated benefits to it that don't get talked about that much.
Is this a topic too that could be added to some sort of ballot as well?
I don't know.
Like some sort of, I mean, because Howard County has tremendously low voter turnout.
It could be. But. Yeah, I mean, it would be considered a referendum vote, and I forget what would, I mean, if there have to be, like a class action suit or some type of something presented to the clerk to the county to have added to the ballot. I know Kokomo High School did this past year in regards to an increase of tax for or fee for their corporation, and it got voted down. So I'm unfamiliar with the process that it would need to take or need to follow for citizens to call for a referendum vote on a particular issue.
Okay. Chris on live chat, what did you do before being mayor?
I was county commissioner for 11 years, but that's more of a part-time position. So I was in the title insurance business with my folks for a number of years, and even prior to that up in the South Bend and Elkhart area when I was away from home for a few years before coming back in 98.
Okay. Yep. Next question is from Thomas. Okay, if it's not a data center, are you willing to say no data centers allowed? We do not want it. This is we've been asked this a few times today about like a moratorium on data centers and that kind of thing.
No, I mean, again, there's opportunity for development. If it's a data center, I mean, we'll look at the specific. I mean, I know people are saying we're not listening to their voice. We're not hearing their concerns. We're hearing the concerns. So if a data center comes to Kokomo or is being proposed, I mean, we're going to ask those questions. We're going to go to our utility companies. We're going to make sure that they have the capacity. That there's not going to be. I mean, we will act in the best interest of the citizens with any development that comes to that area there. So.
Okay.
I guess that's it.
Sorry, we did miss one as well. Cody had a two-part question. We didn't ask it. How does the Mayor Moore feel about the high school age protest during school hours last week?
I was encouraged by their involvement. I mean, I get that it's a hot topic. Fortunately, we don't have to or didn't have to deal with what Minneapolis has had to deal with. It's always great to see youth get involved and active and supportive of things. Also, at the same time, you want them to be respectful for rules and regulations within a school or any organization. So as long as it was thought out well and remained peaceful, I wasn't over a part of it. Again, applaud them for being active and involved with what's happening nationally, especially if everything was done peacefully. But it's again, they're right for a peaceful protest and peaceful gathering. It's just because they're youth doesn't mean they don't have those same rights to organize or to gather like anybody does.
Okay, Kathy on live chat, we're getting there. We're almost What do you think of John Pike's comments during the Planning Commission last week that he would not vote for a continuance because he didn't want to go through this again?
I didn't agree with them. We talked about it. That was his right, his position. I mean, he was as frustrated as others. Probably not the place to make those feelings or comments known. We did have a conversation in regards to that, but that was he took advantage of having the microphone, just like others that came to the microphone to speak their frustration with folks as well. So
I think what he was saying too,
him just stating his opinion. I think yes, he's a representative of the city. Yes, he's on the Planning Commission, but I think he was just. He was saying that he didn't want to go through it. I don't know that it wasn't that everybody doesn't have the right to. It's just that his personal opinion, he didn't want to have to sit through it again. But we did have a conversation in regards to it.
Okay. Jenna on live chat, not that I condone name calling and berating by other commenters, but do you understand that a lot of property owners in Northeast Howard County are hurting and feeling distrustful? It seems like you don't give weight to why people are upset. It's just not about a data center or not. It's about your whole area that you call home changing forever in the name of progress. Jenna on live chat.
I agree, and I do feel for those that are up there that are on the edge of a lot of what's happening progress-wise. But again, it's the same consideration needs to be given to the property owners that wish to do what they want with their property as well. It's a little different, but it's kind of the same if you own a house and somebody moves in next to you, or they want to put a pool in and they have pool parties into the wee hours of the night, or they barbecue all the time and somebody's got allergies. It's property rights, and I get that those folks that live out in that area moved to the county because they wanted to be away from the madness and busyness of industry and commercial and such. And my heart does ache for them, but at the same time, we're honoring a request being made by landowners for exercising the right that they have in theirs as well. It's the delicate balance. Like I said, I'm sure the same conversation was had when the mall was built, when every Stellantis plant was built, when Haynes was built, when Continental Steel went up. Progress can not be fun at times.
Leanne on live chat, are you are they going to widen Savoy due to the traffic flow from that complex?
No.
Mike
plans.
on live chat, is Cartwright still on the list to be refinished this year?
I believe so, yes.
Cindy on live chat. Oh, sorry. That's this. Oh. Okay, maybe they asked the same thing. Emily on live chat. Why are all the roads in this town just disintegrating? I've lived in Kokomo.
Maybe?
No. I've lived all my life in Kokomo, and so many roads need repaired, but nothing ever gets done, or it's only patch jobs that don't last. Also, she is saying, is there anything that can be done about all the panhandlers around the mall and 931 Markland intersection and homeless down in the downtown area? I understand we have a mission, but are there any other shelters or aid people can get to?
So a lot of lane miles of streets, roads, and alleyways in the city that we try to get to. Can't get to them all. Time, money, and resources prohibit that, but we do the best we can. I mean, yes, there's a lot of patch jobs that end up being done. A lot of it's weather related. The asphalt plant doesn't open until, as beautiful as it is, this week, unfortunately, the asphalt plant isn't open. We couldn't mill something up and repave something this week, even though we might have the opportunity to do it. But the materials aren't there. So there's only that short window of opportunity between April and typically late October, early November in order to do that. And a lot of times, too, we're in second place to the needs that EMB may have with a lot of the state work that's done in the area as well. But do the best we can with what we've got and the time that is allotted. Panhandling, we're looking at a possible ordinance that other communities have in order to address panhandling, the homelessness downtown. KBD is doing a great job addressing that. The other shelters, I know Cam was mentioned earlier. Rescue Mission has theirs, but outside of that, there aren't additional shelters outside of transition facilities for those facing addiction and recovery. Gilead House is a good one too. So only so much we can do, and we don't always know those individuals' situations, and so it's kind of delicate.
Sure.
To walk.
Mike on live chat, would the city council be willing to add an addendum to the rezoning that prevents being a data center being built and radioactive material handling and use on the proposed industrial site?
Could that be a question for city council?
Okay. Central Indiana Severe Weather Response Team on live chat. Why does Kokomo not have any tornado sirens funded by the city? They are much needed pieces of equipment.
We had them a number of years back. The previous administration removed those. Now with everybody's cell phones receiving tornado warnings and such as they come through, there hasn't been that much of a need. I know Haynes still has theirs, but can definitely be something that we look into. But again, with technology and with the response and use and availability of cell phones, that has kind of replaced sirens in a lot of areas.
Okay. Ooh, I missed a question here.
Oh.
And this one was funny. This is from Mike on live chat. 1, Mayor Moore, do you feel like you have a faster 40-yard dash time than Drew? 2, can we set up some time to raise money for a charity of your choice? Mike on live chat.
I don't know. It'd be close. Yeah. Drew's quite the CrossFitter, so I think that his 40 would be quicker than mine. And absolutely, we'd love to be able to partner with someone in regards to a fundraiser for local charities. Thank you, Mike.
Andrea on live chat. Are there ever any talks of more activities coming to Kokomo? I'm from here and remember at one time there was a driving range off of Boulevard. We used to have a miniature golf course too, a par 3 course. How about an axe throwing place? How about an escape room place? A city this size needs more to do. Andrea on live chat.
So we just added a miniature golf course and pickleball and tennis courts to Cutler Park over on the northeast side near Elwood Haynes School and Markland Mall. So that's there. A lot of our parks have amenities. We did have an axe throwing place here in Kokomo over at Maple Crest Plaza. Unfortunately, they closed due to the lack of support from the community and such. I mean, everybody, tried to get in there. Fortunately, just down from where they are is a great. It's Ralphie's. It's got duck pin bowling. It's got golf simulators. It's got indoor miniature golf, and so there's that available. Kokomo Raceway Park down by Indian Heights and Center Road, got go-karts, arcade, batting cages. I mean, so there's that available that I think a lot of people forget about as well. Up Golf 31 is now a Top Golf type of facility out at Wildcat Creek Golf Course, where you've got bays that you can hit out similar to Top Golf. It's just a single level. I mean, so there's all kinds of stuff do, and our trail system is second to none to folks. So lots to do.
Absolutely. Next question, Vicky on live chat. What are they building on the corner of Goyer and Boulevard? Seems like they've been building that little building for over a year.
Yep, another gas station or a convenience store gas station. That's one of the two that got in under the radar before we got the current ordinance passed in regards to restrictions on locations of convenience stores and gas stations. So yeah, Goyer and Boulevard, as well as the one over by the entrance to Championship Park near the 31 Markland interchange.
Gary on live chat, have planning commission members or city council members ever been asked to or required to sign NDAs?
Yes.
Got it. Gavin on live chat. As a mayor of the city of First, what's one first you would like to see Kokomo achieve during your mayoral leadership? Great question.
One first, yeah.
It's the last question of the day, by the way.
One first.
Well, we got one more. There's
wow. I don't know. It'd be great to, whether it's in one of our existing plants, whether it's Stellantis, General Motors, or GM components, Star Plus, even a new industry that may come, Borg Warner's still here, even Haynes, something, another first for the world. It'd be great if there's a research and development that's creating a new product, a new, cure, a new anything that would benefit not just those in Kokomo and Indiana, but the country and the world. We're known for the city of firsts for a lot of that, the automobile, pneumatic tire, transistor radio, all kinds. It's that entrepreneurial spirit. So it'd be cool to have either a current facility or new industry come and patent something that has never been thought of or considered in the world. It'd be neat.
Got it. And last question of the day is Joe on live chat. Is there any plans to expand Jackson Street Commons or to start a new one to help the homeless veteran situation?
Not that I'm aware of. I know that was, I can't remember if it's who spearheaded that project, but I know there are space restrictions there on the site. So there have been talks from individuals that have considered housing and even employment opportunities for homeless veterans that didn't materialize, but that doesn't mean that somebody else might not find that opportunity. But as opportunities present themselves, never say never.
Got it.
Could be.
Well, folks, we did it. Those were the questions we had.
What time is it?
It is 5:18.
Man, sorry, folks.
We went today.
Went long today.
We asked the questions.
Thanks for hanging in there. That's right. Catch the clips later.
Yeah. Thank you for sending those questions pre-show as well as those live chat questions today. A lot of them today. Really appreciate the engagement. We had over 110 people watching at one time.
Great. Thanks for everybody that
might be
tuning in.
A MTM show record.
Hey.
So appreciate that. Also,
exciting
Allie,
times.
I saw you in the chat celebrating that today, so I appreciate that. Thank you to all of our partners. Robert Miller, thank you guys so much for all that you do for this show, as well as Blue Fox, HVAC, Antique Mall, Kokomo Downtown Antique Mall, Affordable Pest Control, Wolf's Smokehouse, and Berrycom. Thank you guys for making this show happen.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mayor, for being here as always.
Thank you.
Questions today.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Do you have a dad joke for us today?
Really, a question. I mean, with Chick-fil-A opening this week, if tensions rise and you get two people in there arguing over the best Chick-fil-A sandwich that they have in there, is it still called a beef?
No, it's called the chicken. Thanks for watching this episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show here on the Kokomo Post, partnered with Robert Miller and Son Furniture. Truly appreciate everybody tuning in today. If you have any questions for next week's show, make sure to leave them in the chat of this, or maybe you're watching the replay of this episode, because right after we click off here, I think it takes a minute because it's a long episode, but the replay will be available. You can watch back and listen. I know I saw a few people in the chat asking their question again when it was already asked previously, so maybe search through the show to find your answer.
There you go.
But if you have any questions, leave it in the chat. We always put out something Monday.
Or if you missed it, email me, mayor@cityofkokomo.org, and get you an answer there too.
There, you love it. Okay, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time, Kokomo. Have a good weekend.
Kokomo.
Or have a good week.
Yeah.